and then everyone should be able to see this stream. So bear with me. I'm going to give you the link in like 30 seconds. I'm trying to do 3 things at once. Please bear with me. Live streaming. So I'm streaming 3 things at once, 2 things at once. My computer is being a bit slow in the process, so please bear with me. We've got 45 viewers, so somebody's picked up the new stream, which is good. Let me give you the stream link. Copy link address. Okay, here we go. Here is the new stream. See you shortly. Link address. So hello everyone. We are now switching into. See you shortly. We are now joining in the new. So hello. All right. So we are now switched into the new Google Hangouts. So Alex, if you want to ping me, if you have a Google account, I can invite you into this and we can go from there. All right, so Tesla share price right now is up to $360.56 per share, which is quite a lot. All right, here we go. I've got to get this chat going. And we're going to break this chat out. All right. Hi, everyone. You are now watching the new stream. So this caught me unaware. So please bear with me. I was literally in the process of working on my server and doing some other things. You should now be able to hear me. Let me make sure that you can hear me. Yep, you should be able to hear me and see me. So everyone is working. All right, Alex, I am going to invite you in. Look, David, F off, okay? Seriously, this is a live breaking news story. I'm doing my best. If you don't like it, bugger off. All right. Sorry, as I was saying, Elon Musk tweeted earlier on that he was considering selling or making Tesla private at $420. That means $420 per share. And it means that if you are a Tesla shareholder and this deal went through and it was approved, you'd all be getting $420 per share for your car. Okay, bye, fat bitch. Look, I don't need that in my stream, okay? I really don't. Right, so anyway, where was I? I'm just trying to collect my thoughts. Tesla share price is going up. It's now at $360.91 per share. Obviously, if Elon Musk says he's secured funding, if Tesla has secured funding or Elon Musk has secured funding, we are looking at a valuation of about $7 billion per share for the company in total, based on a $420 per share price. Now, could he be going private for any number of reasons? He could be going private because he's fed up with the shorts. He's fed up with people trying to make money on the company. He could also try to be going private because then he doesn't have to answer to the shareholders. It's a privately owned corporation. It gives him a little bit more control over what to do and how to run the company. I thought that Apple might be a buyer. So Clem, you and I are in the same mental space there. Apple is about the only company I can think of who would have 700 billion just sitting there, cash in hand, ready to buy the company. Now, obviously, if Apple bought Tesla, that would be a fantastic piece of news, but it would also cause some issues. How would this affect shorts? Well, right now, The shorts are losing big because Tesla's share price is currently at 361.23. Gareth, this is not a confirmed Apple. I don't know if Apple is. Another person suggested Amazon. That might be an interesting one. I don't wear shorts while driving electric cars. I'm wearing shorts today. See, I'm wearing shorts. Anywho, Elon has fired so many shoots at Apple. Well, he has, but at the end of the day, if someone's willing to pay if someone's willing to pay Tesla for the money, then we are gonna be seeing a lot of money coming Elon's way or Tesla's way. Now, obviously, Elon is a majority shareholder in the company. Elon could make a lot of money from selling these. Could make a lot of money from selling his stake. I don't think that's going to happen. We will have to wait and see what's happening next. I'm going to send a couple of tweets out to some people and say, hey, do you want to join me? If you're a journalist wanting to join in this Tesla Hangout live, ping me. All right, so Alex, I'm going to invite you. So just give me we don't need a guy telling us we're driving our car wrong, overheating, bending, you name it. I hate Apple buying Tesla. I'd hate Apple buying Tesla. I hope it's not Apple. They would change the charger every year. It was probably a joke. He's getting some R&R with Grimes and Greens, maybe. I mean, Tesla maybe. I mean, Musk may be joking, but why would he do that? I mean, I don't see why he would do that. I think that maybe it would be funny if he did, but whether he would actually do that or not, I don't know. All right, I'm going to send Alex an invite and hope that he joins me. If there's anybody else is working who wants to join in this chat, please let me know. Yeah, Elon Musk owns 34 million shares, approximately, out of 157 million shares even. He doesn't own 157 million shares. That would be kind of bad. Apple does want an electric car company. It's true. Apple is also developing on its... let's just talk about the synergies between Apple and Tesla here for a second. So Tesla is working on its own chipset. Apple obviously has an experience of developing its own chipset and technology, so that would work. But then we'd be talking more about an acquisition rather than privately owned. I don't know where the line is between those two. Alex from E4Electricity is hopefully going to be joining us in a second. So we don't know what's going on. This is a live developing story. I've got Elon's Twitter page up, and there doesn't seem to be anything else coming from this. So it's just, we are currently at a huge number of retweets, like 3,290 retweets, 13,500 likes. It's kind of crazy, really, to see what's going on. So I was just in the wrong Twitter account here, so give me a second. Tell me what your thoughts are on all of this, and we'll go from there. Okay. All right, so I heard Project Titan. Maybe it is Project Titan. I actually have a hard drive on my computer called Titan, and my Wi-Fi network is called Falcon. So what's up with my shirt? My shirt has a monster on it. Anyway, so let's see if we've got any further information. I'm just reading through. There's some fake Elon Musks here responding. And I mean, maybe it is maybe Elon, let's look at this. Maybe Elon's account has got hacked. That could be an option as well. So it could be any number of different things. Elon Musk could be hacked. Elon hasn't said anything else. I'm looking through the tweet stream right now to try and come up with something else. There have been no future tweets from Elon at this point. It has obviously made Tesla's share go through the roof. Where are we at the moment? We are at 362.98. Now it did go up to 366.55. 420 Elon. Maybe that was the joke. Maybe it was 420. Maybe that was the joke, as someone said. Legalize it, yeah, man. Now, this is the other point. Richard, thank you for reminding me. Elon has discussed in the past how he'd use his profits from Tesla to fund Mars. And maybe that's what we're looking at here. Maybe SpaceX needs an injection of cash, and Elon is looking for that. But remember, Elon Musk has said he's going to be around for the substantial seeable future. So unless something major has happened in Elon's personal life, or something major has happened at the company, there is no reason for Elon to leave Tesla. And I don't think we're talking about that. We're talking about acquisition of the publicly traded shares at the moment that Tesla has at $420 per share, which is incredibly, that's what it's a massive improvement on what Tesla's shares were originally. It was $28 a share. So somebody somewhere who has invested early is going to make a lot of money from this. And obviously that's going to enable people to buy more Tesla products. And if you think I'm joking, I know people who purchased Tesla shares early on and then bought themselves a Tesla with the profits from those. So let's see if we can see where we are. Alex, I'm going to try and send you another invite link because you told me to. Alex, bear with me. So we're going to have Alex from E for Electric on any second. Please bear with me while I do this. This is a live situation, and I am obviously doing this on my own. So hopefully we'll get Alex joining in a second. All right. Is there any precedent for a company of such high valuation going from public to private? Yes, it happens all the time. It doesn't happen very often. Is there any precedent for a company? No, we've answered that. Could this be a short scheme? I don't think so. I really don't. I think he's fed up from all the negative nellies. It would be good to make all of those things happen. Hey, Alex from E for Electric, welcome along. How are you doing?
Good. I just woke up. Just literally have to put my pants on to join.
What a wake-up call, eh? You need Java.
Yeah. I was just about to do my own show, and I saw you. I was like, wow, this might be major news if
it is.
To just go live.
I mean, I haven't even put my makeup on or my shirt. Maybe I'll put my jacket on. Hang on. Put my jacket on, then maybe it'll look a little bit more honest. So what do you make of this, Alex? What do you make of the news?
Well, just like with any company going, private, there's good things, there are bad things, right? And it's pretty obvious for any company. The good thing is that, if a company is private, if Tesla is private, they don't have to deal with all the Wall Street BS, all the pressure, all the deadlines, and they don't have to always try to grow the direction that Wall Street wants them to grow. On the other hand, public companies have to be pretty transparent. They have to obey by certain accounting rules and so forth, where transparency is going to be gone once they go private. Could be really good, could be really bad. Just like I said earlier, I don't know. I don't know which way it's going to go.
Yeah, I think. I mean, what do you think of this? This could be a purchase decision by Apple or some other big company. How many companies do we know who've got $700 billion deal with a valuation this big?
Gee, I even made a couple of videos about how I would hate this to happen. For Apple, the company I really dislike, to buy Tesla. I don't think it's. I think it's too late for a company to buy Tesla. It's just too big, And I also not really sure if people would want to deal with Elon Musk, especially other, people with big egos. That would be right. One of them would have to go, because essentially Tesla is a smaller Apple at this point, and Elon Musk is a Steve Jobs in the making, and I include everything, including the ego.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, Tesla is where maybe Apple was before Steve Jobs returned, when the company wasn't necessarily turning a profit. Although it was slightly different, because with Steve Jobs, when he returned to Apple, we ended up with a situation where Apple wasn't making decent products. Steve came back, and obviously then Apple started making decent products, at least for the time that Steve was around. And obviously with Elon, Tesla is already making decent products, so it's slightly different. But
are they? I mean, they have their own problems, right? I mean, they're making an amazing product, but if you're, I own 2 Teslas right now, and I have to tell you, as a customer, as a consumer, let's just put Elon Musk aside and the company aside. If I'm just talking about my ownership experience, it's been tough. It's been tough. I mean, the car, at least I'm on my 3rd one, and it hasn't been, as reliable as I wanted to. If you crash it or if you damage it, sometimes the wait time takes months, and no insurance company obviously covers a rental car, which usually is gas car, beyond 30 days. It's got its problems. It definitely there are quite a few things that I would love, as a consumer, to have it fixed. So yeah, I mean, the situation is not exactly the same, I agree, but it's I just don't see Apple or any other company buying Tesla. And what would be the benefit for Tesla, by the way?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Hang on, I'm just looking at CNN. There's just been a story come through. Thank you, Bob, for sharing this. Just checking. Yeah, Tesla hasn't responded. They haven't responded to any questions from me. Tesla hasn't responded to CNN or anybody else about this. Obviously, the Tesla.
Surprise. Surprise. The media department is asleep, probably still.
It's a real shame, because if I had my streaming set up live, to get my streaming set up working takes like an hour or so. If I actually had my streaming set up, we could have the stock ticker in the corner. Unfortunately, that's not possible right now. So
the stock reacted. I mean,
it did. It did. It was at 3:55 at 12:50 p.m. Eastern, which is when Elon made the announcement. It's now 30 minutes later, and it's up to 363. It did peak at one point at 366.55. So it suffered a significant jump in price. It's currently up 20 points, so about 6%.
6%.
Sorry, $20.34, which is about 6%. Now, let's talk about that $420 purchase price. That's significantly higher than what the current stock is. And I think, by the way, that this is we're nearly at the record price for Tesla. We go back, Tesla's record price as it stands at the moment is $383.45, which it hit on the 23rd of June last year. Alex, do you think that we are looking at Elon getting fed up with shorts and wanting to have control, as you say, of the company without being accountable to shareholders? Or is there something else going on that we don't know about?
Well, unless his account was hacked, and I think people would have done something much more fun.
And this is what I said,
or vicious with it. Then the 420 number is a little odd, right? That he picked that. I mean,
Hey, I'm in Portland, Oregon. There are so many
Yeah.
dope shops around here. It's, I could probably go and get some right now.
Yeah, no, I hear you, but I'm just saying, right? So what? But at the same time, listen, they have done very well, and they're now on their way of, I did a story yesterday that that Tesla sedans have outsold all Mercedes-Benz sedans and all BMW sedans in July. Think about that, right? And also they have a more market share in that segment than any other car. I mean, they've done very. I'm surprised that stock has not skyrocketed past 400. So I think 420 is very reasonable, very reasonable. And this is, don't forget, when people invest into a private company, obviously there's much long term rather than even day trading or shorting.
Yeah.
So that price becomes more real.
Well, do you think that we are going to see a situation where Tesla is, you're talking about obviously Tesla outselling BMW and Audi and other luxury car market vehicles. Do you think this is also a way of securing Tesla's future? Because BMW, Audi, Mercedes-Benz, they're all bringing luxury electric models to market, right?
Well, I mean, in which sense do you think it secures their future?
Well, because if they don't have to worry about, obviously if it's privately funded, they can do whatever they feel necessary to compete with the competition rather than to do what shareholders want. Let me just see where we're at with Wall Street Journal has just covered it as well.
I mean, to answer your question, it will probably be better for consumers because they won't be in a rush, right? But it doesn't necessarily will be as good for the company because they won't be pushed as hard, and it will be maybe a little bit harder to raise money because valuation is going to be very, I won't say questionable, but much tougher to determine. So there's just like I said, this could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. We never know. But he's definitely getting fed up with Wall Street. By the way, I don't blame him at all. I like private companies. I think they usually do right by their consumers.
Hey, I'm a private company. I'm not publicly traded.
Hell, me too. Me too. Yes, you're right. It's a good point. All
right. So please forgive me if you're watching the stream, folks. If I look a little bit distracted, it's because I'm trying to obviously keep up to date with the latest news that's coming in on this, but I'm also trying to make sure that we don't miss anything. Somebody in the chat room just said that BBC EM responded to news that Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund was building a $2 billion stake in Tesla. He has tweeted saying he has the funds to take the electric car company private.
He did say funding secured, and that was my next question to you.
Now, Saudi Arabia.
You mean the company that produces a lot of oil?
Well, wouldn't that be like the ultimate FU for the oil industry? Tesla, the car company that helped unequivocally, I mean, there's been a lot of arguments really about whether the Tesla Model 3 is revolutionary. Tesla as a car company is phenomenally revolutionary, even if I don't think the Model 3 necessarily is. And it has pushed the world away from fossil fuels and onto electric vehicles. Wouldn't it be great if Saudi Arabia, which wants to obviously ensure that it continues its wealth, has divested a lot of its sovereign wealth, which it's earned from the fossil fuel industry, and pushed that towards electric cars? Wouldn't that be a big FU to the world of fossil fuels?
On one hand, on another hand, you have to understand a lot of people really condemn any type of investment from that country simply because of some of how that money is made, right? And of obviously because of human rights and stuff like that. And I believe a lot of people who buy Teslas, buy them for moral reasons, right? Usually it's environment, but nevertheless, these are usually the people who would object to that kind of money and the source of that money. So I think there's two sides of that coin as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing that I want to bring up here, and it seems very troubling, that this announcement comes 6 hours after the news broke that there was some IIHS, the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, ran some tests on the Model S and the Model 3 and found that the Model S and the Model 3 failed the automatic braking test that they have, but that their automatic lane keep assist was the best that the IIHS had tested. So this was kind of a flip side coin. On one side, they were going, yep, this is the best system we've ever tested for lane keep assist, but it failed the automatic braking tests. Obviously, that it could be seen as positive news for Tesla. It could be seen as negative. I've seen sites spinning both ways. Do you think that's a way of avoiding that conversation altogether?
Well, no. What is this? Is an Insurance Institute of Highway Safety, right? Well, so that will happen regardless of whether or not the company is public, I believe, right? That will happen anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, obviously, this has just been the news came out this morning, so it potentially had the potential to impact share price. I don't think it did, but it did have.
It's too small, and I think that everyone kind of has already accepted that the autopilot and the safety features have had issues, and there has been a lot of independent tests. I mean, you can question them, of course, where Tesla fails to stop. There has been a few accidents where it would just completely smash into a stationary object. So this is not really news. It's just
no, it's not.
And to me, it's much more important to not crash into something rather than to stay in the lane where I have my autopilot on.
Yes.
By the way, I don't know if you know, I had two Teslas, right? And I'm actually selling one of them today, and I already bought a Volt. So I'm moving into more of a real world. So now I'll have one all electric and one plug-in hybrid, which by the way, I got a lot of backlash for some reason.
Yeah, no, when you said that, I was kind of really surprised when I saw that picture of you getting
Why were you surprised?
That you were actually going to a Volt from a Tesla. That was kind of
right. Yeah, I mean, as long as I keep the other one, I'm okay. But I think there's more of a. I mean, I just moved to Sacramento. It's more of a real world, and I think plug-in hybrid is a way to go for a lot of people, who can't afford a freaking $90,000 car. I live in Silicon Valley, and I thought Volt was one of the better ones. But anyway, that's just a side note. So I don't think that news had any much to do with his tweet. I'm sure we'll know more soon, and there's people speculating. I'm reading stuff right now as you are as well. But really, there's not much to go on, right? I mean, everybody knows he hates Wall Street. He hates.
Sorry to interrupt. Elon just tweeted "Good morning," and this is the weirdest thing. It feels like Elon has either just come down from a legal high, or he has been hacked, or he's just effing with people. What do we make of this new tweet? Like it was 2 minutes ago. Good morning.
Good morning, smiley face.
With a smiley face.
I don't like how he's smiling at me. I don't really like how he's smiling at me with that smiley face after good morning. What a weird guy, right?
I mean, someone just put in the chat, how are you still debating this? It's a joke. You guys are effing retarded.
Well, actually, it's fun to debate it because it's not a bad idea after all. I bet if his account was hacked and this was a joke, I bet Elon is thinking, holy crap, you know what? Not a bad idea. Dell just did it a few years ago, and they did it pretty successfully. And it was a humongous corporation.
Right.
Full disclosure, I used to work for them. But, actually discussing this is fun, and I think this is something that he might consider. I don't mind discussing it, even if it was a joke. Though, hey, he either needs to get a better sense of humor, or if his account gets hacked, I would get concerned about other things that might mean for us.
I mean, obviously. So the share price is now coming back down a little bit. It's now at 358.95, and as Regal says in the chat room, if this was a joke, and it was Elon making the joke, he would have fallen foul of a ton of Security and Exchange Commission rules. Now, we don't know if this was a hack. We don't know if this is true yet. Obviously, nothing else is is going. But there are reports that the sovereign wealth fund, CNBC, has just said that Tesla shares rise on the report. Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund has a $2 billion stake. Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund has acquired a significant position in Tesla, according to the FT. The media outlet says that Saudi's public investment fund bought a 3% to 5% stake in the electric car maker. The stake is worth 1.9 to 3.1 billion at the current share price. Now, obviously, if Tesla did get an offer to buy that and go forward, then that would be, I mean, Tesla needs money for the Gigafactory, doesn't it? Let's be honest.
Oh, absolutely.
And Elon
Elon
said he's not going to look for any more funding routes, right?
When are you guys, there are two Twitter accounts that I don't take seriously as far as, I mean, I'll discuss it like we're doing right now, but as far as taking their word for it is, Donald Trump and Elon Musk. When they say something, they either sometimes don't mean it or they mean it, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. So, as fun as it is discussing it, just because he says he doesn't need the money, it doesn't mean he doesn't need the money. Where's the money going to be coming from? I understand local investors, but what's the difference into someone, giving you a loan or someone investing into your stock or into your, local factory? It's all the same. You're basically essentially raising money.
Well, okay, so there's two different sides to this, okay? If you are somebody who has billions of dollars available to you, whether you are an individual or an entity, and you need to spring 5-6 billion on a new factory, you can write the check and not really worry about when it's going to pay back. It will eventually pay back. And I think Tesla has proven by this point that it will eventually pay back. We look at the Q2 earnings reports. We look at the fact that Tesla made some fundamental changes to the way it operates. It has really slimmed down its operating costs over the last quarter. And yes, okay, it spent what was it, 160 or 150 million restructuring. No, sorry, it's 103 million restructuring, but it cut a lot of its extraneous spending and was a lot leaner in this most recent quarter. And it shows that Tesla is heading towards profitability, at least one would hope. So at that point, if you're an investor and Tesla has illustrated the fact that it can make good on its claims and its promises and actually bring something to fruition that is going to make the company money in the long run, and you've got billions of dollars to your name, to the point that the interest on your accounts is earning you extra money just by sitting there, you don't mind if you're bankrolling it. Whereas if you're lending money, you're going to want to see these milestones, these goals. And let's be honest, that's the thing that Tesla has struggled with. It has struggled with meeting those goals, or at least its own goals when it comes to production. So, I mean, what do you think to that?
Well, first of all, I don't even understand why was this ever a bad thing that they have to raise money again to either produce a Model Y or to build a new factory. I mean, Amazon has done it for years before it went, into this major profit machine, because you invest into. It's not that they're dumping money or burning money, right? They're right. Investing into, like, for example, hey, weren't you glad that they invested whatever $3 billion and now they have this amazing car and a production lines with the Model 3 that is going to be, looks like it's going to be very successful. If this is the type of investments that they make, I think, people should love the fact that they have to raise money again. That means they're going to have something amazing again, and they're going to grow and grow and grow like Amazon has and become even bigger giant. And that's where you get your investment back. This is why you should be investing into Tesla, I think. Short term, this is the company that's going to pay off in 5 years or even 10 years. So yeah, I don't see anything wrong with them raising money one way or another. I think it's a great thing. I can't wait until they finally just go ahead and do it, because we're going to end up with we as consumers and the community with a factory in China to avoid all the tariffs and a Model Y, which will be another amazing car.
Yeah. I think Model Y has to happen. That was the other thing. I'm going back to what you said earlier on about Tesla obviously outselling all the luxury sedans in that marketplace and automobiles. The one market that Tesla needs to corner now is the SUV and the pickup market. Those two are the biggest markets across the world in terms of vehicles. And if Tesla can get a foot in there, and I'm not talking about Model X, I'm not talking about Model X, I'm talking about
compact SUV.
Yeah.
Do you think they made a mistake by going with a Model 3 before Model Y?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's more important to have the larger groups. 1 second. Somebody's just pinged me a question, and I just need to respond to this because it's to do with the Tesla.
Everyone's going crazy over this, like we are.
Yeah, hello to the 600 and some people who are currently watching this live. It's sorry, I just got pinged by Miriam Joie, so I was just going to invite her in as well because she's recently purchased a Model 3, so she can come in if she fancies it. All right, people do realize he's joking. Well, this is the problem, Rick. Okay, you can't joke about things like this when it comes to stock prices.
And when you're a CEO of a public traded company, actually, if anything, this will create news regardless, right? If he was joking, this is not only a bad joke, but I believe this is, ethically improper, and to say the least. I don't know what the law says, but if you're know that you're misinforming the public and the public is making investment based on this, and you're doing it knowingly, well, listen, it's not good in many different ways. I
don't see how it could be done legally. And someone says, Elon has 22% share of Tesla. So obviously, if he said this and it was just a joke and it inflated prices, he would benefit from it.
Right. Inflating prices is one thing. If he sells it right now and then says it was a joke, that definitely would be the problem. But there might be some people who just decided to invest in Tesla based on what their CEO just announced, and then let's say they did it, then he says, oh, I was joking, and the stock goes down. Those people are, who were genuinely wanted to be a part of this, just lost money on a joke. So yeah, that would be extremely inappropriate. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if also illegal or against some regulations. So I hope he knows that. It doesn't seem like this is a hacked account either, because just like I said, I'm sure people would have done something more, exciting at the very least.
So this is something else. Somebody just said in the chat room, Elon is an officer and must file before he can sell, which is true. He can't just sell the stocks, willy-nilly or buy them. He has to make it obvious. But interestingly here, about 3 hours ago, Seeking Alpha, obviously, Seeking Alpha, which obviously was the site where the Montana Skeptic wrote for, and Seeking Alpha do have lots of different people writing for them, wrote a story earlier on saying that Tesla, in a recent research note, Tesla could be downgraded. There might be a credit downgrade coming. Now, obviously, I've not been able to follow this through, but again, watch out, Tesla could be downgraded. Elon says, fine, I'll just take it private.
Well, listen, I just don't think it's a bad idea to do it. Again, if this was a joke or whatever, or hacked, I think that he should give it some consideration. I think 80% of his frustration and the pressure that he's feeling is from Wall Street, and it would be completely gone if he takes it private. Obviously, it's not that easy, and let's see who the investors would be. But either way, this tweet is going to stay here for a while. I know it's in the early stages. We don't know what's really going on, but this is going to be one of the tweets of the year as far as the effect, and entertainment value as well.
And I got my order of magnitude wrong on the actual price. If Tesla did go private, it would be $72 billion worth of purchase. Now, as someone just said in the chat, Tesla will be purchased eventually. I mean, I think I've always expected that to happen. And actually, way back when, like when I was one of the few people covering Tesla, right back in 2008, 2009, I actually said that Tesla should focus on the engineering and let other companies work on the actual automotive production. And Tesla should license its technology and actually sell its drivetrain technology, because that's where Tesla has always excelled. Obviously, lately it's gone into autonomous vehicles, over-the-air update, chip design, and electronics, and Teslas have always been built as hardware running very, very good software, which is very different to obviously how a lot of other cars are built. I always said that Tesla should be acquired and turned into an engineering house for a major automaker. I don't think it's a major. Can we agree it's not one of the major automakers?
No, it's not one. I mean, we have to agree because that's what the numbers say as far as how many cars they make and how much money they make.
I mean, right now, just so that you know, Volkswagen only has 21 billion, and that's the world's largest automaker, right? So if Volkswagen wanted to buy Tesla at that price, it just wouldn't even be possible. Apparently Elon has tweeted again, so let's go back and see where we're going. Elon hasn't tweeted. He tweeted good morning earlier on. Unless you... they must first own 85% of outstanding shares and purchase these in open trade. Hang on.
He did reply to Fred of Electric. He said, I don't have a
surprise. Sorry, that was bitchy of me.
Right. No, listen, he looks like he only replies to people who like him a lot.
He only ever replies to Electric and a couple of other sites. It's
right. But it says, I don't have a controlling vote now, and wouldn't expect any shareholder to have one. If we go private, I won't be selling in either scenario. So this is not a joke. I mean, he's now kind of confirming that it wasn't a joke.
It wasn't a joke.
Good morning tweet only makes it even more weird, I have to say. And he did reply to Liz Clayman. Let's see what she was at.
Short burn of the century, apparently. So, I mean, I'm speechless. I'm really speechless, Alex. I mean, as soon as this news came through, I was like, okay, I could make a video on this. But this is changing so quickly, so frequently. There's no way I could possibly make a video on this and keep it current.
Yeah. Actually, I got to do my own video in another 15 minutes or so. But listen, this is definitely. Don't forget, this is a very long process. Let's say if this is really true and he lined up the investors and they're not evil investors like, Chevron and Saudi Arabia and stuff like that, right? It's still going to take a long time. We also don't know what this administration's policies there are, and sometimes they try to intervene, right, with mergers and all of that stuff. So I would guess a couple of years this would take, right?
Well, and also it would require the SEC obviously to approve.
Right, and we don't know what they're thinking. And again, we don't know what influence the administration will have over them. But yeah, it will be a while. It will be a while, and a lot of times companies do back out of this, right? Or they don't get approved. But at the same time, to be honest with you, there's going to be a lot of conversation and talk, but I don't see this being a bad thing. And I don't really see how things will change that drastically, except for we won't be covering the earnings calls and shareholder meetings. And the company, right? And the company won't be as transparent, obviously, which for us, people who cover this, on a daily basis, is going to be probably even a bigger problem, right?
Right.
But as a consumer, as a driver of a Tesla, and hopefully I'll stay with the brand. Don't know at this point really, but this could be a good thing. right? Maybe they won't rush autopilots and they won't rush, cars of the assembly lines, knowing that they're really not done that well, but they got it because they promised to Wall Street. So yeah, I don't see how it's going to be anything.
All right, so let's cover a theory here. I've just been sitting here while you've been talking, running some numbers in my head. Tesla share price is currently $363.03, which is 21.15 up on where it was earlier on today. It's now 263.14, so about 6.2% rounding up. So it is going up compared to where it was. If Tesla is purchased at $4.20 a share, compared to where it currently is, then some money is going to be made on top of that sale by Elon or any of the other people still connected with the company. Do we think Elon would then turn around and plow that money back into the company?
What will
because that would pay for the Gigafactory is where I'm going with this. That would pay for the Gigafactory number 3.
Well, wait a second. Gigafactory needs to get started way before that whole deal is going to be closed, right? So that is not that timeline.
Oh yeah, but if you're talking to Chinese investors and you're saying, okay, we need to build this Gigafactory, will you give us the money? Oh, by the way, we're about to sell our company for this much money. What do you think?
I think they will be having the same questions as I am, as far as, will this deal go through and when? And I think that's a big question for them. Yeah, but listen, it's a plus. It's a plus when he can have extra cash to pay for it. It's definitely going to help him.
So here we go. Someone says share price has risen 1.2% since the announcement. I mean, it's been going up and down. Somebody in the chat room doesn't like you because you've got a Chevy.
Well, I mean, why? I mean, is it because I have a Chevy or because I have a plug-in hybrid? I
mean, this is stereotypical. I mean, I'm going to highlight this because it's stereotypical of the fanboys and some of the hate that you and I have been getting lately because we're trying to cover Tesla as middle of the road as we possibly can. So we don't know any more about this. Before you disappear, because you're going to go in a few, you can hang around for as long as you want to. So just let me know when you need to jump off. But before we go, we do need to plug your channel. So you are E for Electric on YouTube, and also Patreon, you are E for Electric. I put the Patreon link up earlier in the chat.
Thank you. Yeah, it's simple. It's youtube.com/E4Electric, and then of course patreon.com/E4Electric. And I talk about this every day. On Patreon, I go live every day, Monday through Friday, and then I repost it to YouTube. But this is the conversation I'm having every day. And you have been a guest a couple of times on my channel, which I love having. Anytime you're ready, I love our conversations. This is why when I woke up and I saw your message, this is the fastest I put my pants on, I have to say, just to get here and to talk to you about this, because I knew this was going to be fun. You know what I mean?
I just put my links and your links up. If you're watching this, obviously Alex and I, we are colleagues. We run separate companies, but we're doing the same thing. We're both in the kind of the independent, and I think I'm right in saying that you and I are one of the few.
The only ones.
We're the
only ones.
I think
on YouTube. We're the only ones on YouTube that are covering electric car news on a regular basis, period.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if anybody.
There are others, but they generally focus primarily on Tesla, and we try and cover.
Right. That's why I emphasize electric cars, not specifically Tesla.
All right. The Tesla share price apparently has jumped again. Someone was saying it has. It's now at 365.58. Will we see 400 before the end of the day? And we've just had another tweet from Elon. So let's see what Elon's saying. Alex looks at his Twitter account as well. Haven't seen yet, but let's see.
I just got upset because I just took a screenshot of the stock price from my show when I'm just getting my slides ready, and it just jumped. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah. All right. The response that he said, I'm considering, all right, so this is a conversation. Someone just said, been saying all along, just like Dell did, it saves a lot of headaches, and Elon Musk simply responded, yes.
I mean, listen, if this is happening, just like I said, that's great. I'm excited. Well, let's see who the investors are, of course. But listen, this could I don't see any drawbacks. I just don't see any drawbacks to this, except for us, the journalists, right? That's the only thing. We won't be as. But at the same time, I'd rather have less, Tesla has safety issues stories, in general, and more, hey, Tesla took their time and produced a better version of their car, and we're just gonna not cover it as often, because if you're covering Tesla only, yeah, that's going to be a drag, right? But if you're covering all electric cars, gee, we have plenty of other things to talk about. So yeah, no, I welcome this. Absolutely.
Okay, so let's wrap this up now, because you don't have really any other major kind of news with this. Oh, there's EV News Daily as well. They're on. They do other stuff. So there are other people who cover it. We just we should hang out with some of those as well. Yeah. We are. It's now 10:52 local time for me. So it's going to be. Let me do my math. It's going to be 1:52 in the afternoon in New York, obviously, which is where Tesla stocks are tied to the New York time rather than the other side. Fully Charged do, but they don't do fully. Obviously, Robert and Fully Charged team tend to do more. They don't tend not to do the live stuff like this. So
or they also don't really cover news.
I love Robert does actually cover news.
On his YouTube channel, because I'm a subscriber, I don't see that much of it.
Okay, there's somebody who's about to get banned. Yeah, and those guys do not own a Chevy. Look, this is ridiculous. Grow a pair, okay? I literally grow a pair.
I didn't really read what's going on in the chat.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like you guys can't talk about EVs because you don't own a Tesla, or you don't own this, or you don't own that, or whatever. So anyway, that is all I think that she wrote for now. The Tesla price is still going up. And it's going to be a while, I think, before we know exactly what's going to happen here with regard to where this is going to go. We will be a
couple of years probably.
You're going to be keeping track of it.
Yeah.
There has been no more tweets from Elon. He did actually respond just to say 420.
Yeah, that was somebody asking at what price for some reason. He just said 420. That's really that's all it was. Yeah, I know. Out of all the replies he could have, maybe addressed, he gets, yeah.
Maybe we should change the name to Hempler.
Yeah, I would love to be a fly on the wall when he tweets, right? Like what goes through his, like, what is he doing? Is he actually concentrating on this, or is he like just doing it as he's got other things going on, right? Because some of it is just odd in a good way.
It feels like he's bored or distracted.
Right, exactly. So
distracted. Like someone else I can think of.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying, right? So weird. Such different people, such common behavior. Well,
okay.
Is it Twitter? Is that what Twitter doing to people? If I'm gonna really be on Twitter, am I gonna turn into this?
Oh my God, maybe I do that. Maybe I do that and I didn't even notice. Oh, that's scary. I mean, obviously it's created a really big wave of just incredible reactions and news and whatnot. It's
you can't say this is not exciting, right? I mean,
it is definitely exciting. It is absolutely exciting.
Covering Tesla, and this only goes to the point of what other company really has such an exciting, not only personality but just in general news cycle. And should they get one? Should they get a celebrity, if you will, or a bad boy CEO or a spokesperson that can do this, right? Because if you think about, like, can you think of any CEO or executive out there that would be this entertaining? And well, I'm talking about automotive company, right?
Right. I mean,
even startups. I mean, I think I've interviewed quite a few of them myself on my channel, and they're all as excited as they are about their new brands. They just, they're just not as exciting, to say the least. So this is good stuff for us, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting. All right, guys, we're going to end now, and we will see what happens as a consequence of this, right, Alex?
To be continued.
It's to be continued. If you want to continue the discussion, there is going to be a continued stream over on Transport Evolved Take 2. So if you follow Transport Evolved Take 2, there's going to be a little bit more of an kind of there's going to be
subscribe to that.
Yeah, Transport Evolved Take 2. We will do a stream over at Transport Evolved Take 2. So let me see if I can do this. I don't know if I can. Nope, it's not going to let me do that. That's weird. All right, let me. I think it's because I'm in the wrong account. Let me.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to post the link of the Transport Evolved Take 2 in the chat. Here we go. There we go. So you go over to that channel, and I'm going to be continuing this over there. It's going to be.
Yeah. I wish I could watch. I usually do. I love your live streams, but I got to do my own now. So because I got to talk about this all over again.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, Alex, take care, and we will see you soon.
Thanks, Nikki. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks for joining me. Bye.
Right. See you.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thank you to Alex again for joining me. We are going to be going live over to a different channel in about 5-10 minutes. So if you follow the Transport Evolved Take 2, and we'll be talking over there about this announcement. I'll just be kind of doing a live stream. We'll have a more general chat. The Transport Evolved Take 2 is the less serious side of the Transport Evolved universe. Come and join me over there, and I will be having a little rant as well. So I will see you over there. If you like what you've seen today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can watch our Tesla Model 3 review, which went live last week. So let me find that for you right now, and I can put a link in it. So this is the Tesla Model 3 review. Please, if you haven't already seen it, go watch it. Yes, it might be controversial, but I had a great time reviewing it. I love the Model 3. I think it's a great car. I just can't afford one. So we'll be there shortly. Keep evolving.